everybody, and welcome to Post Commentary with an Idiot. Now, in the interim between last night's debacle and this night's debacle, I went and did some farming. I farmed up about 10 humanities from the rats in the depths, and then I decided to do some level grinding with the Forest Hunter Covenant. But I wanted to record the Forest Hunter Covenant grinding, so I set up OBS, and I didn't really want to record my voice for it, so I set it OBS not to pick up on my voice, not to pick up on the microphone. And then I forgot to record. And then afterwards, I forgot to turn the microphone back on, so for the entirety of the Ornstein debacle, I was just babbling to myself for 2 hours. Like an idiot. Anyways, I debated with myself about whether to go offline to avoid being invaded during this, and then where to relay back to the Ornstein fight from. Whether from the Dark Moon Tomb bonfire or from the bonfire where Solaire was sitting. Ultimately, I decided on the Solaire bonfire, because that meant that I didn't have to put up with the tower. And by simply jumping over the railing, all I had to do to get back to the Royal Sentinel room was kill one Silver Knight and then jump over a railing. Whereas with the tower, I had to wait for the tower to come down, and then climb up the stairs, then wait for the tower to go up, then go past the sentinels in the front. And that would have just been a mess. So I just went to the Solaire bonfire. Also, while farming the Forest Hunter Covenant for souls, I killed off the 3 Forest Hunters that didn't respawn, including the Archer, who is the only one of them that has item drops. A Twin Humanity, Ferris's Hat, and the Black Bow of Ferris. The Black Bow of Ferris is more useful for a extremely dexterity-focused character, like my prior character, who was using a katana, the Iato. But for this character, I'm really more worried about the range of the bow. The black bow has more range to it than the longbow does, even if with my stats it's not as powerful as the longbow is. I unhollowed and then kindled the bonfire by where Solaire was, in preparation for summoning people for help with the Ornstein fight. Because in my prior playthrough, Ornstein was pretty rough. And it was no less rough for this character either. Especially because this character's setup, I have not put a single point into vitality. So Ornstein is very capable of killing me in one shot. And it's horrifying. Strangely enough, I wasn't invaded once during this entire thing. But I did find a few people to summon, besides Solaire, who was, well, he was useless. He was a bag of crap. Eventually, the final fight with Ornstein and Smaug, which was successful, I had 2 other players with me, and they were the real MVPs of this fight. Well, one of them was. And here we go. let's go fight Ornstein and Smaug, but mostly Ornstein. This room right before the boss gate is pretty rough because of the Royal Sentinels. The Royal Sentinels are very powerful. They're big, they're reasonably fast, they're powerful, they have magic, they can heal themselves. They're just kind of a horrifying mess to have to go through each time you want to fight Ornstein. Which I have to do a lot, because I die multiple times. When I'm rooming with these guys shafting balls while in their groin, I expect to hit them. You have to be really careful with summoning Solaire. Don't just go running off down to the boss door before he fully summons and is following you. Because he very much likes to just walk off the ledge and hurt himself, which does not help you. I mean, come on, Solaire. There's a perfectly good staircase right there for you. Use it. And here we go. There's the fat bastard, Executioner Smaug, and there's the badass, Ornstein, the Dragon Slayer. Smaug's just kind of like any other boss that you've fought before. He's big, slow, rather meaty. Ornstein, however, is probably not something that you've fought before. He's fast, elegant, flies, shoots lightning, stabs you, and glitches randomly around the room. This is also a two-phase boss fight. After you kill one of them, the other one absorbs their soul, much like you do, and becomes even more powerful. And Ornstein's second phase is much more difficult than Smaug's second phase. All Smaug does is absorb Ornstein's electricity abilities. So now his hammer deals electricity damage, and his butt stomp has an AoE lightning burst. Ornstein is the one that's really dangerous. Ornstein's a real stand-up sort of guy, stopping to mourn his friends passing before absorbing his powers, specifically his size. And this is what makes him so dangerous. He becomes super huge, bigger than Smaug was, and he doesn't lose any of his speed. He is just as fast as before, and potentially even more glitchy. Look at how much damage that did. That butt stomp nearly killed me. And it just gets worse from there. And there's the glitch. Ornstein sometimes dashes towards you, and if he contacts anything, like Smaug or one of the pillars, he tends to do something unpredictable. Sometimes he just stops. Other times he does that and just shoots off in a random direction. Other times he'll just kind of teleport through whatever he's hitting, and then he'll be doing something else completely when he stops. He is unpredictable and dangerous. That's what makes him dangerous. The fact that he's really glitchy. If you can get under his legs, you'll generally be safe, because his attacks will usually go over you. But you have to watch out for a few attacks, like the butt stomp, or when he steps back and stabs at you with the electrified spear, because sometimes that attack will impale you. That one. There we are. And that does a lot of damage. You also can't be damaged during that. So if you're co-oping with someone and they get stuck in that, there's really no point in attacking Ornstein, because he, for some reason, can't be hurt. Because Dark Souls. That's also an attack you want to watch out for. If he does that and you're too close to him, he'll sometimes do a really nasty uppercut with the spear. And that is fully capable of killing me in one shot. Yeah, that's what you want to watch out for with Ornstein. He'll sometimes just dash you and then start doing another attack that has no lead up into it. It's terrifying. I was so panicked during this entire fight, throughout all of them. Ornstein is terrifying. I'm getting heart palpitations just watching this. Just watching him glitch randomly around the room. It's terrifying. Ah. There it is. There it is. There's the attack that sometimes just kills me instantly. He's so scary. And now we have to start over again. Use one of the humanities I collected to unhollow. And then clear out that room again. To summon Solaire and get back into the boss room. I did some reading on Ornstein before this because he scares me. And I read that he is weak to occult. And I have an occult club. But I wasn't really good with it. So the one time I tried it didn't really end well. So I stopped using it. Morgenstern, our first player that we summoned to help us with this fight. And I say, help us. This fight doesn't go well. Especially with the club. The club didn't make this any easier. You also have to be careful about entering the boss room on subsequent attempts, because sometimes Ornstein just shoots across the room really fast and just shanks you. Surprise, asshole! I basically just use Lightning Spear for the entirety of every Smaug encounter because he's weak to electricity. You really have to watch out for that train roll attack that Smaug does sometimes. That's his most dangerous weapon. Generally, you just roll backwards away from it. Just backpedal, and then roll when he swings. It's really hard to skip the death cutscene. I was really trying before that, but now it's time for Ornstein. Attack of the 30-foot Ornstein. And he's dead. And I'm dead. Fight over! This third try, we summon Solaire and then head up to the boss door to see if there's anyone there. And lo and behold, there's two people there. One of them is the guy that we just played with, and it just felt really awkward to have to summon him again. And the other guy, the summoning failed, so we just went in with Solaire. Because my reasoning was, we didn't get all that farther ahead in the Super Ornstein fight than I did with just Solaire. So hey, let's just go in with Solaire again. It's not like I'm going to be backed into a corner and killed by Smaug during the first phase of the fight. Nephosaurus just looked exactly like I did for a little while. And it was freaking me out, man. And on we go. Again, and again, and again. Astonishingly, Solaire outlasted us this time. Which is odd, he's usually the first one to die during the second phase. Once again, it's me and Sunbro Solaire, the useless lump that walks off ledges, against Ornstein and Smurf. Alone, with no other help, which we really needed. The AI just doesn't have any idea of what to do with the butt stomp attack. And I have no idea what to do with that attack. That always kills me. And here they are, the MVPs of this fight. Nephosaurus, who we briefly saw before, and Laurel Lance, who is kind of laggy, to be honest. He's also using a spear. I think he's actually using the Silver Knight Spear, which is a pretty useful weapon for a non-faith build when you get to the Catacombs and Tomb of the Giants. Because there's enemies in there that will be forever regenerated by other nearby enemies. So no matter how many times you kill them, they just come back. But you can fix this by attacking them with a divine weapon. Like the spear that I created, or if you're not a faith build, the Silver Knight Spear has no faith requirements. It has the divine modifier. It just doesn't do any stacking with faith at all. I nearly screwed up on the way to the boss fight. I nearly got Laurel killed during the Sentinels. It almost ended poorly. But we made it through! And we got Ornstein. And Laurel was really laggy. And I think that made Ornstein just glitch a whole lot more than usual. Something players do who set down their summon signs for this fight, they generally know to go for the boss that the host is focusing on. I'm not really sure about what Laurel was doing. You can see that he was going pretty ham on Ornstein during this. Maybe he was just keeping Ornstein off of us, or perhaps he didn't quite understand that once you go into the second phase of the boss fight, the damage that you deal to the other one is completely nullified. This is a really bad spot to be when you kill Smaug, because Ornstein is right there! He's just teleporting and randomly firing off attacks. And it's so freaky. But we did it! We succeeded! And here you can see that if a golden phantom survives a boss fight, you get a sunlight medal, which is how you level up in the Sunlight Warriors, in the Warriors of Sunlight Covenant. You also get the Leo ring if you defeat Ornstein last, and you get the soul of the one that you defeated last, in this case Ornstein's soul.